And that makes sense. This ain't Washington, D.C. We'll make it so cloak and dagger. Exactly. President, you have now, don't you?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Ruben. We're going to be starting in just a few minutes.
How are you doing? I'm good. How's your garden? Seedlings, I remember she would make me do this picture of the city too. Donna Jones, don't you know? I didn't get you. It's a sweet potato. Never to be going away. You're gonna have a sweet potato every single year. Because me and my Easter eggs we used to hide. Oh, we find the plastic eggs. All year.
Oh my gosh. I was moving the thing around because I was watering things. And I'm like, that those leaves don't look like this plant. And there it was, potato putting out the little leaves. Yeah, and those are the ones I'm gonna, those ones you break off. Yeah, you start rooting them and then you can plant them. So that way you don't have to buy any the following year.
Exactly.
But when I saw that, I was like, and I feel that the plant that just keeps on giving.
I think potatoes are like that. They say if your potatoes tuber up, just throw them in the ground cover. And you got potatoes.
Yeah, more potatoes coming. Yeah. How's your garden doing?
Good. We have done some extensive work and we ordered 3 pallets of mulch. We were given a bunch of the best potting soil that could have been by someone who just had too much.
Oh, wow.
All I had to do was get my gardener to go pick it up. And he buys hauling what he calls the trailers for fun. So people, when he can have a new trailer, he's delighted. He's an easy day. Buying something silly like that. I'm telling you, he got a trailer to go. I'm saying, what are you going into U-Haul?
Yeah.
He is so. So yeah, he wouldn't pick it up. We have so much soil, and when it was getting ready to rain, we ran and pick it up because the driveway was full of soil. Oh, we had nowhere else to put it. And if you want to buy, you want to bring some pots. If you want to get some soil, you're welcome to come get some.
Okay, a lot of people coming, so happy.
So,
well,
how are you doing?
You got to go. She's going to rush for the music. They had a music lesson. Yeah, I'll stop by. So we come by for the things
putting out. We started a bunch of cucumbers. I told you in different things. We like and the chickens. So
okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. This is the meeting of the United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council Tree Committee. And let me pull up the agenda. We're going to start off with the welcome to order and a welcome and a call to order. General public comments. We have a community impact statement. We want to provide an update on the tree planting project. Sorry, everybody, just 1 second. There are music lessons going on upstairs still. We're going to discuss the cage removals along Washington Boulevard, a possible fruit tree giveaway, and then we're going to go over any old business or new business. Excuse me, just a second.
You're still here. I'm sorry.
So why don't we start with hello and introductions? As I mentioned, this is the Neighborhood Council Tree Committee. I'm Teresa Masonette, and I'm gonna pass on to Donna.
Hi, Donna Jones from West Adams Avenue.
Dolores.
Dolores Spears, excuse me, for not being live. I'm eating my dinner. From the south end of UNNC in Region 6.
Ruben.
Yes.
You wanna tell us about you, or do you live in the community? Ruben? Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you for
Can
coming.
I make my statement?
Okay, well, let's just finish introductions.
May I have 2 minutes?
Yes, just let me finish introductions and then you can do your community, your general public comment. Dakota.
Okay.
Hi, Dakota Masonette, a resident of the Avenues and concerned citizen, just tuning in.
Kathy.
Hi, I'm Kathy Estrada. I'm in the University Park area and I'm interested in what you're doing. I had never known that we had a tree council in our neighborhood. So thank you for inviting.
Thank you for coming. And James.
Hi, I'm James. Also, like Dolores, having my dinner, so I'm sorry I'm not there physically. I am with the West Adams Avenues, and I am always involved with the tree committee in one shape or form.
Great, thank you. Now we'll open it up to general public comments. Ruben?
Yes, thank you very much for having this meeting. It's long overdue. My name is Ruben McDowell, and I have lived here for over 50 years. In the past few months, I have personally witnessed the killing of at least 6 environmentally and historically significant 150-plus-year-old trees, all within approximately 500 feet. A 200-foot-tall sequoia on Portland Street, a 50-foot-plus palm tree at 929 West 23rd, an avocado-producing and a Morton Bay fig tree at 917 West 23rd, a red bark, I understand rare, eucalyptus tree at 2301 Scarf, and as we speak, a specimen ficus tree with a trunk over 8 feet wide, and which was just trimmed by DWP less than a week ago. It is now in process of being killed at 947 West 23rd Street. I was quite surprised and happy to see there's a section of the LA Municipal Code that specifically addresses the removal of trees. We have repeatedly presented our concerns to both LADBS and Micaela Torres Hill, our city planner for HPOC, with absolutely no recognition of the value of these ecological and historically significant trees. Imagine the city of London or Charleston with no trees. Every tree counts, especially when we recognize the city, in widening many streets, removed many important oxygen recyclers during the past 50, 60 years. In a number of cases, business owners kill trees the city planted because they obstruct their business signs on the side of the sidewalk. It is time to bring light to this problem and make sure there are consequences clearly and strongly stated so they can prevent further damage. We live in a desert. Every tree saved contributes to lessening the negative consequences of climate warming and toxic air pollution. Thank you very much for bringing attention to this matter.
Thank you very much for sharing that with us, Ruben. You said 929 West 23rd. What is that cross street?
At 9:47 is right by Portland. By Portland, they started yesterday morning, early about 7:30. They could not finish it because it's a gigantic tree, but it has not a single green leaf left. So it doesn't look like they want it to grow back. And so about, I would say, 3/4 of the trunks are still there. They're beautiful and huge. The owner of this place tried to kill this tree many years ago, and the HPOC stopped them back then. That owner passed away, and now it is the son that owns the property. The son has been made aware when he inherited the property of the value of the tree, both as an oxygenator and as part of the historical landscape. So I don't know what happened, but they are, like I said, DWP had just trimmed it less than a week ago around the wires. So, but the tree is probably still salvageable. So this meeting came at just the perfect time.
What HPOZ is this located in?
North University Park by USC.
So I can take a look in this. Our neighborhood council, the boundaries end at Normandy and then they go west. So, and we have several HPOZs here, but University Park is not one of them. But if you think they're being removed because it's a development or?
No, it's right in front of the house. And it doesn't obstruct the driveway, even though it does have probably around 2.5 feet of the tree. The tree was originally on one half of the lot, that just has grown gigantic because it is definitely original, if not before the house was built. The house is the Victorian house. It's in an HPOC and it's on a national register also.
So did you file a report with my 311, my LA?
I filed reports for other trees, and they have said that there is no protection for the trees. And in one case, somebody came out and they said there was no problem in cutting down the palm tree at 929. So this time I contacted somebody and they directed me to this meeting. I wasn't aware of the meeting until last night.
Well, thank you very much. I have to look into and find out. Urban Forestry Division has a website where you can go in and you can see the permits that they've issued for tree removals. And that website, it'll explain why if they issued a permit, why they did that. But since we're in the middle of the meeting, I can't stop to look at this, but I can look at it and you can, if you go to the UNNC website, you can find my email and you can email me directly and I will try to, or you can put your information in the chat and I will contact you tomorrow or Wednesday and let you know what I find.
Okay.
How's that?
All right. The address is 947 West 23rd. That's where the tree is.
Yes, that's what I have down, 927 West 23rd.
Thank you for your getting involved.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, any other public comments?
I would like to mention that this weekend coming, starting on the Friday, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, we have a dumpster weekend on 7th Avenue. 4 dumpsters will be available. So you're welcome to come out and bring things that are things that you no longer want, so someone else can dumpster dive and take them out. But you're welcome to come. Starting at Adams to 25th Street, there will be 4 dumpsters available. Starting on Friday the 2nd, going all the way to Monday morning, May 5th.
Okay, that's great. So let me just go to our agenda. So many of you may remember last weekend, Easter weekend, that there was a chainsaw wielding guy downtown cutting and hacking at trees. And the councilwoman from that area is Isabel Gerardo, and she put forth a motion, which I can share with you guys right now. And she has asked for the city council to require the city attorney, the Bureau of Street Services, LAPD, to report back to her with the information on enforcement of Municipal Code 62.174, which is damage or injury to trees. And she's also asked that they look into how they can increase penalty, not just for cutting the tree, but depending on the size of the tree, depending on what type of injury was caused to the tree, and also, which is very interesting, to see what percentage of canopy loss we may have had because of damage to that tree. So I would like for us to support this motion, and I've just written a small short statement that we can submit as a community impact statement. And I don't know if you guys know, but community impact statements are a way for neighborhood councils to provide support or commentary on particular city council motions. So in this case, it's a short one to say that we support this report back. And she's asked for a report back in 15 days, which normally it's 30 days, 90 days. So she is really looking for, to them to get back to her quickly. I will say that I went to speak, it was just a coincidence, but that Tuesday, the Board of Police Commissioners was having a meeting downtown, and I decided to go and speak because I was concerned that maybe LAPD was not receptive when people would call into 911 or a non-emergency number. I really wasn't sure what happened with that. So I went down and I explained to them the importance of them. When someone calls, the police need to respond, and they, especially on the weekends, because UFD, yeah, that's when they do it, and UFD is not staffed on the weekends. So when something comes in, is dispatched to LAPD, we really want them just to come out and support. Just come out and look at it, give somebody a fine, or figure out, you may not want to arrest them, even though I'd be fine with that, to be quite honest. But they need to respond, and it can't be something they blow off. So that's what I said. And trees actually have a dollar value to them, not just the intrinsic value that we all appreciate, the shade, the clean air, but they have a literal dollar value. And in this case, Bureau of Street Services determined that it was $357,000 for the value of the trees that guy cut down. So anyway, I'm happy that I was the last person to speak there. So, and I think they were happy to hear somebody talking about that instead of all the mean, nasty stuff people were saying to the police. But I think it's important that we, put forth and put, comments in. So anyway, I would like to, if there's anything else you guys like to add, Donna?
I'd like to make sure that Southwest, when we do our CPAP, that it is brought to their attention as well. Because we do and have right in front of my house called the police when they were going to cut the tree down. A flipper had the house before Amy and Matt had it across from me. We called Ann Tate. She was on HPOZ at the time. They came out and they notified them that they could not do that.
Oh, great.
They actually responded. I don't know whether they would today, but we did get a response. So I'd love to see at our HPOZ meeting that I don't mind bringing it up. And it's a concern because a homeless man with a chainsaw that requires gas was electric, that somebody said, how did he get it? He was riding around on a bike, and how did that happen?
Don't know, but there is video.
It's a weapon as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, I mean, and that's a good point, because if nothing else, it could have been presented that it was a weapon that somebody was wielding. Yes. James, I know that you sit on CPAP. Is this something that the Southwest Police Advisory Board could you could discuss it at the next meeting?
I'd be happy to help.
Yes, absolutely. The better awareness and the more engagement from various departments, the better.
Thank you. Any other comments on the community impact statement? Okay, then I guess we'll go with that one, and I'll provide it to Laura, who will bring it to the governing board meeting on Thursday. So the next 6th Avenue Elementary School. So we're planning a project, the Neighborhood Council, South LA Tree Coalition, Hancock Park Gardening Club. We've been able to work with LA Sanitation and KYCC to do a tree planting. I met with them. We went over the tree cuts around the perimeter of the 6th Avenue Elementary School, and we came up with 31 tree wells. And let me share with you the trees that they recommend. This has not been approved by Urban Forestry. They have to approve the selection of trees, but LA Sanitation has a grant. It's called a Green Filtration Grant. And they, based on that grant, they have only 20 trees that they can use for their grant. So these are the 3 trees that she and I came up with. The good thing is they're beautiful trees. Just let me share this. Can everybody see that? This is the first tree. Can everybody see that? Somebody let me know. Okay, great, thank you.
Yes.
This is a pink trumpet. As I was gonna say, the only problem is that these are not native trees, and there are many considerations when you're planting trees. Based on the size of the width of the sidewalk, we were only able to get it 4 by 6 tree wells, and native trees need a much greater space. So we based it on air quality and shade, and also her list of 20, limited of 20 trees. So these are the ones that we put forth to get approval from Urban Forestry. This is a pink trumpet. These 3 trees, there'll be 3 in front of the school, directly in the entrance of the school, and then 3 where the kids, on the other side of 7th Avenue, where the kids are leave for the day. So there's some symmetry, and the school is gray. It's Art Deco from the 1920s. So this has some aesthetic balance with the school.
Teresa, you said 3 in front of the school and 3 where?
On 3 in front of the school on 6th Avenue, and then on the other side on 7th Avenue, that's where the kids are dismissed during the day, on that side of the school. I can bring up the school if you give me just a second, Dolores.
No, you don't have to. I just didn't catch what you said.
Okay. On Jefferson, this is the next one. Oh, and then around the perimeter of the school, this is a drought resistant, once it's established, which takes 3 to 5 years. This is a drought resistant tree called a Brisbane box. It's from Australia, but it grows within the tree well size. The roots do not uplift the sidewalk, and over time it will provide a lot of shade and clean the air for the school. And then there was one spot on Jefferson.
Where's this on Jefferson?
This is on 6th Avenue, on 7th Avenue, and then I forgot, is that 30th? I think that's 30th. Which street is parallel to Jefferson, Dolores?
What do you mean parallel?
One block north of Jefferson, is that 30th?
Running parallel to
31st.
31st,
Yeah,
okay, it's 31st. So these trees will be planted along 6th Avenue side, along 31st, and along 7th Avenue. around the perimeter of the school.
Around school, okay. And how many of these trees?
Pardon me?
How many of these trees? If you don't have the exact number, it's fine.
Yeah, 24, I think it's 24.
24 total?
Yeah, but the 6 trumpets, yeah. So, what was your other question, Dolores? The only main reason why I don't have the exact, or I don't want to share the exact details, because it hasn't been approved yet.
Oh. Okay, so you don't want me to post any information then?
No, yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah. I'm just sharing this so we can all stay up to date. Yeah, not to post yet.
Okay,
But on Jefferson and where the parking lot is for the school, there is a tree that had been damaged and it was just a stump. So we're going to put in a Chinese elm, and that's what this is. There are other Chinese elms along Jefferson, so to have some consistency, we're asking for approval from Urban Forestry to put in a Chinese elm, and that's what this is.
okay.
I just wanted to provide that update. So regarding the cage removals along Washington, Hunter gave me his list. Don, you anything with yours?
Working on.
You're working?
Me and on
Are working on your list?
collaborate.
Okay.
One drives, one.
What, right? And James, how are you on your list?
I will have it next week.
Okay.
I'll be with you, Jane.
I was gonna say I'm halfway done, which means I didn't start. So, but that.
Okay, there's no rush on that because that is going to be a process, so don't worry about it.
I was also waiting on Dolores because she said she was gonna help me.
I did?
Lord. And you're fine. She's happy.
The next is the fruit tree giveaway. So as we've discussed, when we are able to do this tree planting with LA Sanitation and with KYCC, because KYCC will be the entity that's going to do the actual planting and maintenance for 3 to 5 years once the trees are planted. We would also like to have a community event and do a fruit tree giveaway. So City Plants in the past has had fruit trees to do a giveaway, but they don't have any right now. So the Hancock Park Garden Club has about $10,000, and the South LA Tree Coalition has some money. And we're going to work with KYCC to reach out to different wholesalers to try to come up with probably 8 to 10 different species of fruit trees and to distribute about 100 fruit trees. Cool. So that's where we are now. We haven't, I just, recently found out that there aren't any fruit trees currently available for a giveaway. So now we have to go and try to find some other wholesalers who we can work with. So that's where we are with that. Any questions so far on anything, anybody?
And KYCC will maybe do training.
Yes, so what we'll probably do is we'll hire an arborist to help inform people on the proper way to manage your fruit tree, depending on what type of tree it is, stuff like that, and also let people know this is the anticipated size. So in 10 years, if you have an orange tree, you know how big it's going to be. Also, when we do the planting, we'll probably set it up to have volunteers help with the planting around the school. So we'll make it into a community event, I think. I've already talked to the neighborhood council about funding something in the fall. We could bring out a food truck and we could do some outreach.
People
Yeah.
get together.
Yeah, and we can also, ask the council district to support this too. Maybe we can block off on 31st Street between 6th and 7th and
Great.
have everybody come out. We'll have the DJ, some
Yeah.
music. Yeah.
And maybe opportunity for giveaways where people, do t-shirts or something. Yeah, people have all kinds of
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
they want to get rid of.
Yes. We'll get some t-shirts. So there are a couple of other things that are happening. The mayor's budget just came out. And as many people know, you guys know, we have a $1 billion deficit, and she came out and she's reducing city staff by 1,600 people. And that includes a couple of things that are really important to us. She wants to eliminate 46 positions in urban forestry. And they want to move the Office of Forest Management, which is a city forest officer, to move that several layers down into urban forestry. So I would like for us to make a comment on the budget and ask them to restore the funding for these 46 positions. This is going to be about 3 crews, 3 tree trimming crews. Yes.
Which we're already not there.
We're already not there. Our pruning cycle is 17 years. Best practice is 5 to 7 years. So when the UFD comes around, they do a hard cut on a tree, removing, they don't kill it, but they do a hard cut because they have no idea when they're going to get back to that tree. So
their life cycle.
Right? So
Not the tree.
yeah. Especially now.
I'm telling you.
So I'd like to do another community impact statement. I think the neighborhood council is also going to be commenting on some other budgetary thing. Animal services lost a lot. The planning department is losing 190 positions. So we want to comment on that.
Disaster.
Yeah. So in this case, one is to restore those 46 positions. Because it's
Paying special attention to the inner city.
Yes.
Because we're the ones suffering canopy issues.
Yes, and we have limited canopy
Loss.
already.
Too
And
great a loss, we won't have anything.
yes. So I want to submit that. And then the other thing is, I don't know what happened here, that the city forest officer who used to be under public works, the mayor has moved that office, which is the city forest officer and then another environmentalist, under street services, out of the Board of Public Works, under street services into UFD. And it's just, kind of, in my opinion, a demotion for some reason. And I just think it's a reflection that the mayor's not concerned about the environment.
Right.
And she eliminated the climate emergency mobilization, all 6 positions, all gone. That whole department is gone.
With Donald Trump. Sorry, but it sounds.
Yeah,
Really, it's
but it's not.
officially like.
I don't know if the mayor would, I don't know, but
It's too important.
yes, it really, and we worked on the urban forestry management plan. So that still hasn't come out. I don't know will we ever get it. We're the largest city in the world that does not have an urban forestry management plan. Every major city, even small cities, have them. So the fact that we don't is really
The fact that they don't care.
yeah. I
Very
really just
obvious.
think it is not important.
So, yeah, that's a letter.
Yeah.
So
So
be sent, at least that she's been told.
yes. So
And
both of these will be going to a community impact statement. Any comments or thoughts or ideas on those?
Well, I have a question. This is Kathy Estrada.
Yeah.
How many neighborhood councils have tree meetings? Is it just you?
Oh, no. Venice, I know Venice has one. Geez, I don't know, Kathy, but I think, I'm not sure about here and south of here, but I think, there are 99 neighborhood councils, so I think there are some that do.
So
Yeah.
we should ask our neighborhood council about it. This was the first time I'd ever seen. I did get an email, and it was the first time I'd ever seen that there was anything for trees. So I guess I will check with my Nanduck is mine. So I will check with
Likewise
them.
for my-
Dolores Spears speaking. Kathy,
Yes.
we have never had a tree committee in UNNC, and thanks to Teresa, who has pushed this for quite some time, the board finally approved this committee and approved her to head it up.
Oh, okay. So is it an HPOZ issue or is it a neighborhood council that we could see if we could get together some people that are passionate about trees?
Well, this is the United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council. So, is a woman named Jean Frost in your
Yes.
neighborhood?
Yes.
Yes. So I talk to Jean occasionally about tree issues in your area, but yes, I think that would be a good thing to do to discuss with the board down there how you can, activate a committee. I can help you if you want. Is that something you're interested in doing?
I think there's some people in our neighborhood that would be interested in doing that. So-
I don't know. I can certainly find out who your president is or who your executive officers are and reach out to them and let them know that it's, how valuable it's been to us to have it here. And, I don't know all the procedures necessary to establish a committee in your neighborhood council, but I can certainly help you with that.
Oh, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
The big concern, Kathy, because development has hit our area.
Oh, definitely. Yes,
And the developers are very interested in getting rid of trees that interrupt their ability to make their housing uglier and bigger.
agreed.
I figured you would.
Yeah, it's
I'm putting
terrible. It's just awful. Very
Yes,
upsetting.
and thanks to Teresa and others who have taken them on in our area here. They're quite surprised when they're asked where and when and how big the trees that they're going to put in when they develop the property, and their mouths drop open, even though they know someone who is, an architect, true architect, realizes the importance of green spaces and trees.
Right.
They just aren't encouraged much, but your voice is a megaphone for every area.
I put my name and email in the chat, so feel free to email me and then we can, Ruben, I put it there for you also.
Thank you.
So you guys can both email me.
Okay, I got it.
I think you guys, if you went to your HPOZ board and brought up that you were attending this meeting and finding out that this area has great interest because your HPOZ committee, as well as the UNNC, your neighborhood council committee, realizes that all that impacts the beauty and the viability of your community. And back in the day, some of the trees that, like you're saying, trees that are 100 years old or 8 foot across just aren't going to be that easy to replace for people to be able to damage them so easily. And I'll get off my soapbox.
All the tree people speak the same language, so when you get us started, we're like,
Yeah.
Does anybody have any other thoughts or ideas, old business or comments on anything?
About the trees?
Yes, about the trees or.
Okay, I would like to bring up an issue. Historically, almost every single house during the Victorian and Craftsman period had as a sort of a status symbol and proof of cosmopolitanism a beautiful specimen tree in the backyard. That's how we have sequoias or Moreton Bay fig trees, and so forth. With the advent of the ADUs, those trees, which were the oldest and biggest, have been the first victims. So somehow I would like to encourage people to make a statement that when they process the ADUs, they try to save the tree or incorporate it. You know, just in many places like Palm Springs and Santa Barbara and so forth, that all trees are incorporated and preserved, sometimes even in the middle of the house. But it's just sad because I was not able to see all the hills or all downtown LA 10 years ago. And I can see every single building downtown because all the tall trees have been removed. And it's crazy. So there should be some sort of recognition of the value of the trees, not just in front of the houses, but in the backyards, because they were beautiful specimen trees that were all part of the historical landscape that are being decimated. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention also. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruben. So when it comes to ADU, so when the mayor came in, one of the things besides homelessness that she was tackling was affordable housing. And she has Executive Directive 1, which allows developers and to kind of circumvent the normal process for planning. So even if you're in a HPOZ, you do not have to go through the normal environmental review to put an ADU in. So it's very difficult for communities and for urban forestry to try to protect a tree, unless it's one of the protected tree species, to stop someone from removing a tree to put in housing or ADU. This has come up many times, and there are architects who try to make an effort to save the tree and design around the tree, but many people find it much easier just to cut it off and have a clean slate and then build the ADU. But many people are concerned with that, Ruben. So I just think it's this mayor who's not as concerned about the environment and about trees as other mayors have been.
The unfortunate consequence is that the city is very dependent on tourism. And there's a lack of awareness that I think should be brought up about the value of the landscape. They plant all these trees, suddenly they try to bring in trees for the Olympics, they try to bring in trees for something else, and then they forget about it and they wither and die on the sidewalks. We have trees like that were planted. Even we helped plant some of those trees, and then there was no watering process. I understand the ADUs, the ED1 and so forth, even though the ED1 was retracted, that is not applicable to historic areas. I understand, because she had a lot of negative feedback, including potentially removing her. But the deal is that I think that some people, either were aware of it, will be quite willing to protect the trees, that they understood the value. So sometimes there should be some sort of public effort and a sort of leaflet or printout given to communities at large about what the treasures that we have, and that we shouldn't burn them, because most people are not aware of that. They don't know it was a 200-year-old sequoia, 200-foot tall sequoia tree. They don't know it was a, Moreton Bay fig tree, where it came from. They don't know that oak trees are protected and so forth. So just a sort of public information campaign, very basic, I think will help. And that doesn't take place at all. Like even the HPOC, city planners don't seem to be aware of that. So I think it's important to bring it to light by keep publicizing the value of these trees and this landscaping and what it does to save us from choking from the toxic air. So whatever can be done to inform the community at large, I think helps.
Ruben, you found
Thank
your
you.
Also, let me share with you, Ruben, have you heard of the Community Forest Advisory Committee? It's a commission level committee, and everyone on there has been appointed by the mayor, but they are working on doing some community outreach and trying to have people more aware of the value of trees. I'll send you, they're having a meeting, it's on Zoom on Thursday during the day, but I can send you that link and you can listen in and you can make public comments at that meeting also.
Great, I will appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, if no one has anything else, we don't have to stay till 9 o'clock. So.
Well, I just want to say, this is James. I just want to say, Ruben, your wealth of history and knowledge is of great value. So thank you for attending this meeting.
Thank you for inviting me.
We would make sure to touch bases with University Park, I guess that's your HPOZ, because they should be aware. A lot of them are.
I have been attending the HPOC meetings regularly for about 20 years.
Oh, good.
And the trees are just not on the radar. So I thank you for bringing the trees on the radar.
Right, that scares me because in historic areas,
very much so.
now historic areas, the trees are so important. We have a street called Grayburn Avenue.
So maybe now that we have become more aware of your existence and how we can tell them by comparison how much more concern there is, we'll get some more traction. So I really do appreciate finding you.
Oh, great. And you know, we're an HPOZ here. The United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council has 4 HPOZs. So we have 2 people right here, Donna Jones and James, who both attend regularly and participate in HPOZ meetings. So they are always advocating for trees. And I think it's something that, you know, people are becoming much more concerned with. Especially here, the removal of trees is what we're concerned with very much.
And with the budget of the city being what it is, the loss is going to be very hard to replace. So everyone is to be treasured.
And Ruben, have you been in touch with your neighborhood council in your area?
I have known Jean for about 40 years also, but it's interesting. They're just different priorities, but it's okay. We'll bring up the trees again because now again that event on Grand Avenue I think has sort of brought it to the limelight, and maybe now we'll get a little more traction.
Yes, and
Okay.
you know that that Ralph that's on Jefferson. Jefferson, I don't know what the cross street is, but it's in that area because Jean, they cut down some trees along that Ralph's grocery store, and Jean had me come in, and now they put in some new. I asked for coast live oaks, so I'm hoping that those new trees. I haven't been down there, but I think they planted in some oaks along that side of the Ralphs.
Isn't the Ralphs on Adams and Vermont?
No.
It's
Yes.
Jefferson.
Yes.
Is it Adams or Jefferson?
There's one on Adams.
The university.
On Adams and Vermont.
Yeah, that's my area.
Oh, okay.
USC.
Oh, sorry.
It's Adams and Vermont. Yes, that's street next.
Yes. So, but they were, I don't know if you guys remember going by there, but they did remove some trees. But Jean reached out to me and we met with the designers because Ralph's was doing an update on their whole store. The corporate office was doing an update, a remodel. And anyway, so yes,
Well,
I think that, go ahead, Kathy.
That's really good to know, because I was the one that mentioned it at the HPOZ meeting, but I didn't know that Jean had. I did notice that they replanted some trees, but I didn't know it was at that request. So thank you so much. I'll have to ask. Also, thank Jean for hearing that and doing something about it.
Yes, and I'm not sure if she did it through WAHA, the West Adams Heritage Association, or through her neighborhood council, but it came to me as a tree advocate for our area here, and that's when we met with the architects down there and talked about first of all, they were removed. Somebody erroneously gave them a permit, a planner to remove the trees. They should have never been removed in the first place, but once they were removed, then we went about trying to find the best replacement, so. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I'm just gonna go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you guys, everybody, very much for coming.
Thank
Anybody?
you.
Thank you. Dakota, do you have any final comments? You didn't say much.
Nope, happy to be here. Just and getting a feel for how committed everybody is to trees in the neighborhood. It's been great.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I hope you can. Next month, we're not having a meeting because it's Memorial Day weekend, but we'll be back in July or in June. So we'll keep a lookout for our agenda, and I'll get back to both you guys. And please reach out if you don't hear from me soon. But I'll look into both the things that you guys brought to my attention.
Thank you so much, Teresa.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good night.
Okay, have a good evening. Okay, bye, everyone. Okay, I need to save this chat. Nice meeting. It was really fun. I'm happy about that. But I have to figure out how to. I know how to save the chat on my computer, but.